The Nigerian Chief of Defense Staff was never in the country when this happened.
This is our home store. This is our house store. Thank God for life. These people want everything in this camp.
It's our men, it's our soldier. Almost is soldier, or 7 soldier now.
Alhamdulillah for life.
Now, this took place over the weekend in Borno State. Before Muhammadu Buhari left office, we were made to understand that Boko Haram has been technically defeated. In 2024, towards the end of the year, we learned that a new terrorist group has emerged. The name is very funny. And there were a lot of speculation that the Nigerian government will now be allying the French troops to bring their base into Nigeria. Knowing fully well that Nigeria is a non-alliance state, and for that reason, they can collaborate with anyone in terms of training, which was what the Chief of Defense Staff said during an interview with Al Jazeera.
Well, for now, Nigeria is standing on its own. And you know, Nigeria is a non-aligned country, which means we have freedom to operate with any other region, any other bloc together. And what we are doing is that we're still conducting this for training. For training purposes, we have our officers and soldiers training all over the countries. All our friendly partners, we are together with them, we're working. All we're saying is that we don't need anybody, any boots on ground. We continue with our joint training, we'll continue with our joint courses. All we need is ability to get these equipments that will be able, and I will show you that we can secure our own.
When you look at the interview by the Chief of Defense Staff with Al Jazeera, you will understand that he laid out so many things in that interview which pointed out the reason why the insecurity in Nigeria will continue to persist. One of which is the inability of the government to purchase equipment even when they have the money.
Because it takes somebody to give and somebody to collect. So which means those ones having these weapons are equally guilty. We don't do such. We have a procurement procedure which is being followed. And to also state that even with our monies at times, we find it difficult getting equipment. And the question is why? One of the reasons why this insurgency has been for this long is because we have been denied access to equipment. Even when we have our monies to get to, it's difficult.
Why have you been denied access to equipment?
Well, I really don't understand.
But when you look at this again from the other hand, we have also seen that there have been so many reports of the Nigerian army enrolling the repentant Boko Haram into the Nigerian military. We have also heard so many times where they said that the repentant Boko Haram will even grow up to become the president of Nigeria some days. We have even heard that they have been properly interrogated, trained, and now released back into the community. Talking about the repentant Boko Haram. Now, the same people who killed our military, the same people that raped our women, the same people that kidnapped our people, the same people will be captured by the Nigerian military, will be, rehabilitated and returned back into the community. So while will now the international community or whoever you seek to buy weapon from trust you enough to give you those weapons to fight these terrorists? Because you're not serious. A serious government will arrest a terrorist and give that terrorist a capital punishment, because that is a treasonable offense. For you as a citizen to pick up arm and fight your government is a treasonable offense, which is a capital punishment. So when you arrest a terrorist, what do? You treat the terrorist as a terrorist, not rehabilitating them and releasing them to the community. Who made you to believe that when you release them, they will not go back to, join this same group? Have we not heard where the governor of Borno State severally said that there is current recruitment going on in Borno State to enlist Nigerians into Boko Haram? But what happened? Nobody took that too seriously, and we can see the result of that. Look at how our gallant soldiers are being taken down like chicken during Christmas. Can you imagine? These are the same truths that the Nigerian chief of defense staff during his interview said that
it makes it a bit more difficult because identifying who the enemy is unlike the conventional type. You see him, he's wearing a kind of, these ones are not. And they are your own people from within. We've been in Liberia, we've been in Sierra Leone, we've fought other countries, we've restored peace. And so it's always a surprise that we're still having it, but it shows you the difficulty.
everywhere they go on peacekeeping. Right now they're on UN mission. But back home, over 15 years, we are still struggling. Yes, I understand the part where he said
identifying who the enemy is unlike the conventional type. You see him, he's wearing a kind of, these ones are not. And they are your own people from within.
this is not a conventional war, and these people look like us, so it is very, very difficult to even recognize them. But why is it that when it comes to protests, the Nigerian military and the DSS and all of them, they are very quick at intelligence. They are very quick at, responding to stop people from protesting. But when it comes to intelligence like this, to attack your base, to attack your military formations and all of that, you don't have it. Why? Anyway, I won't blame him, because he continued to say that there are some certain people who are trying to throw or sabotage the government or when they are making Sussex. But even at that, I have constantly maintained on this platform that if possibly I sit there as either the chief of defense staff or chief of army staff with all your powers and authority, or I'm sitting there as the president, which is the commander of armed forces, it is just in your discretion to allow the military to go all out against those bandits or terrorists or whatever name they call them. But I understand the human right part, of which I will stand solely to support the Nigerian government and call out the international communities who are always perpetrating evil in Africa. Because when you look carefully, when the government are trying to reduce these terrorism, you will hear them like things like they are killing the civilians and all of that, which we saw during Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration. But however, even at that, I think it is enough time. It is enough for the government to re-strategize and see how they can fight this. There is nothing wrong with the military going door to door, ransacking people's houses, ransacking everywhere, looking for terrorists within the northwest, the north central, the middle belt, the northeast, everywhere they find themselves, where they believe that the terrorists always hide themselves. Go in there, ransack everywhere, bring anybody that is connected to this military terrorists, bring them out and punish them. As simple as that. If civilians are now find culprits, you punish them according to the law. There is nothing there that any international community should be coming out to say that you are holding civilians hostage. Oh no. If they are aiding the terrorists, then they have committed a treasonable offense, because they are now in support of someone to take arm against the government. It is in the constitution. So I wonder why they are doing hanky-panky and doing all of this nonsense. What do you make of all of this? Let's have this conversation at the comment. Remember to be civil. Politicians do not send your papa. At the end of the day, Olokpa will knock your door 12 a.m. Thank you for watching.